I will. I'll find out more. Don't you think?
That's the only way to find out more is to search it online.
You horn tootin'. There's no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the weather for today, most of the work week will be warm until Friday and the weekend. The coldest air of the fall will arrive along with a few snowflakes mixed in with rain showers this weekend.
The fall colors just got here like yesterday, and we're already worrying about snow.
Catherine and I went for a walk around Star. You know where Starring Lake is out there, and I think it's in Eden Prairie.
Nope, I'm not.
We walked around. The leaves, oh my God, are they beautiful? I mean, stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, there's what's it like Lake Beta Makaska? There's like one that's like just south of there. That's another area that's got the fall colors out in full effect.
Oh yeah, I bet. Have you been to that restaurant yet? It opened the old, what they used to call that, not the clubhouse, but what the hell is that thing right there on Lake Calhoun?
Oh, where like was it the beach club?
Yeah, I guess beach club
or whatever. Nah, I assume you had to know somebody that knew somebody to get in there.
No, well, it's open to public now, isn't it? I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it probably is. It looks really nice. There's a full-time restaurant. The restaurant's going to be, I guess, open year round.
Wait, what's it called?
I cannot remember, but it's right there on Bede Makaska.
Yeah,
or Makaska, or nobody's still been able to tell me how to pronounce that.
I think it's Bede Makaska.
Bede Makaska.
I thought so, but
yeah, it could be.
I'm also just a dumb guy. So.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, you're in radio and podcasting, so what does that tell you? You got no shot.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah. So I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's going to be open year round. The building is gorgeous. They redid the whole building. It was kind of sad in a way because my brother Todd worked in the old building. He would rent out boats when he was like 19 years old.
Oh, are you talking about the one that like the location like burned down? That's like right on the lake.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
No, I haven't, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one yet, but I saw that they've pretty much completed the whatever.
I think so.
Building process.
It's supposed to be really good. I mean, it's a great walk. First of all, it's like a 3-mile walk exactly to go around that lake. So you go for a walk, have a little lunch or whatever, take another stroll, hang out by the beach. Be a great day, man.
Oh yeah, and in the summer because I walk around that lake quite frequently with my dog, and it's always something's going on over there.
I think it's called Pimento on the lake.
It is.
That sounds.
There we go. That's exactly what it's called.
All right.
That's exactly right. Speaking of that lake, ladies and gentlemen, back when it was Calhoun, first met Catherine, 21-year-old Catherine. We go for a walk around the lake. There was a very large man rollerblading, and he was not on the rollerblade deal. He was on the walking path.
Yep.
All of a sudden, this 21-year-old young woman goes face to face, toe to toe with this guy, screaming at him, and he's screaming at her. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But yeah, she said, go over on the skating pad. You're not supposed to be here. It's like, oh, okay, settle down.
I do hate when people use like whatever rollerblades or they'll be biking down. It's like, you literally just go one lane over.
Exactly.
And that's for you. Like it's all yours. Exactly. You can do whatever you want over there. Yeah.
But it's so funny watching a 21-year-old woman screaming at a guy. The guy was on rollerblades and he was probably about 6'3", 6'4". So he was about 6'7" on the rollerblades. I'm like, Jesus.
What's the Adam Sandler movie where he takes his kid to the park and they like throw sticks and rocks in the rollerblading trail? They like wait for people to crash.
Oh, is that Little Daddy or Big Daddy?
Big Daddy. There we go.
Daddy.
Yeah, she pulls one of those out.
I have not seen that. I'll have to give it a whirl.
Oh, it's great. They're in like Central Park or something like that.
Yeah.
And like there's this steep hill and he's like teaching his kid to like throw rocks and pebbles in the path.
It's like sticks. So they come by and it's just crash.
That's kind of gold. All right, so here's the deal. Today, early showers ending, then clearing with a high of 66 today. Tonight, dry and warm evening. Showers and thunderstorms possible late, a low of 52. Then Tuesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, 65. Wednesday, afternoon rain, 62. Thursday, occasional rain, 61. Friday, we hit the wall. Much cooler with a high of 46. On Saturday, cold, a few showers possible with snowflakes at times, a high of 40. And then Sunday, a high of 39. Every day of the week, it gets a little chillier till finally it goes from 66 to 39 for the high in a 5-day period, 6-day period, I guess. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Right now, it's cloudy. It is 47 degrees and mostly cloudy right now, but about 65 later, 66 later on today. Some early showers, but it'll clear up. Should be decent. Kind of looks like it anyway. Very quickly, just want to talk a little bit about being out on Friday. On Thursday, I went home, had a long day, and I got home, And right at about 10 minutes to 5, the phone rings, and my buddy Kevin Osgard's calling me. I'm like, oh, Osgard, got to talk to him, tee up a little golf for next year or whatever. They're already trying to figure it out because golf season's just about over, no doubt. And where we play a shutdown for the year anyway, so we're coming back. But he says to me, I don't know how to tell you this. And I'm like, oh, God, I hate it when people say that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to tell you this. But he told me that our dear friend Jimmy Lindstrom had died. They found him dead. From what I understand, no bruises or abrasions or anything like that. So it doesn't look like he fell down the stairs or anything like that. He's at the bottom of the stairs, but it didn't apparently look. And I don't have the updated information on it. So I don't know what to tell you. But one of the greatest guys you'd ever want to meet. And I'll tell you a very quick story. See, now to me, this is America. This is a great American story. First round I ever played at Spring Hill, Jimmy Lindstrom was my caddy. I had never met him. He's caddying for me. We're going down the 16th hole, which is a long par 5. You got to go up a hill at the very end. It's really, really good hole. So I hit my drive and it hit a long way, but I hooked it left. And I hit it into the crap on the left side. And we're walking along. And now I just met him 3 hours earlier. I had never met him before, just met him 3 hours earlier on the first tee.
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking along, and I'm looking over there, and it's pretty heavy thicket. Let me put it that way. I said, this is going to be a bitch. And he said, this is going to be impossible because I ain't going in there. I said, this is my kind of guy. And how great is that? He's caddying for a guy, and he goes, yeah, blow it out your ass. I ain't going in there.
It's not my responsibility to go get the drive that you shanked into the
It's your
water
horrible,
over there. Yeah.
your horrible shot.
I love it. You're just like, God, this is going to be a tough shot. You're like, he just goes, this is impossible.
Impossible because I ain't going in there.
No chance.
He just takes a golf ball out of his pocket. He's like, I found it, and he rolls it, into the middle of the fairway.
Oh, that might have happened once or twice too. But Jimmy Lindstrom, we loved you, man. And by that, I'm not just throwing that out there either. He was much loved by everybody who knew the guy. Just a wonderful guy, hardworking guy. As a caddy, from the day I met him 25 years ago, I think he would always been a caddy. He just loved being a caddy because you do get great exercise every day and that kind of deal. And Jimmy was not a big drinker at all. He didn't smoke, didn't do drugs. He was in great shape from all the caddying. All this. I have no idea. He died at 59 years old. But the weird thing about it was, and I didn't see it coming, which is what makes it weird. So I'm talking to Kevin Osgard about Jimmy, and we're going to find out what happened, or, that's such a sad story. And we're reminiscing about the laughs. I have a friend. He might have come from my type of neighborhood, if you know what I'm saying. Jimmy Lindstrom's our caddy again. We're walking along, and my buddy needs a new ball. And you guys might even know the guy I'm talking about, but I don't want to say his name because of what went on. But he goes, Jimmy, could you grab me a ball out of my bag? And Jimmy goes, yeah, sure, no problem. Goes over, zips it down. He goes, Jesus, you guys are North Side guys, aren't you? I said, what do you mean? Pulls out a 44 Magnum out of the golf bag. I'm like, what the hell? I will never forget that as long. He pulls out this huge gun. Like you're out in the middle of nowhere playing golf.
Yeah, if you grew up in the North Side and you're worried about security, I think the last place that you have to worry about getting run up on is probably the golf course.
You never know who's going to drive up on you a little too quick.
Yeah, it's true.
A little too much fore action.
So to close that out for now, of course, we'll see what else life brings. But it was interesting because I did not see it coming. So I was talking to Kevin about this, that, and the other thing, and what are we going to do? Did you tell Kendall? Because Kendall Norberg is another big friend of his. Michael Fitzgibbons, all these friends we got to get a hold of and talk to. Timmy Ivory, tons of people that just love Jimmy, right? So we get them all lined up. And we're on the phone. I was on the phone, I don't know, probably half hour, something like that. And I don't know why it happened. I suppose maybe I just took a breath. So I go, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. I hang up and I started crying. I mean, crying too, not just tearing up. I started crying like a sumbitch because he was such a great guy. It's not fair that he's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's definitely like a certain age that when people start, because like my grandma, for example, is getting up there, you can kind of see, we might be getting to the end of the road here. But when it's younger and you're like, oh, I'll see you next golf season,
I
like
know.
you take it for granted. So it's like, yeah, you want to try to make more of a point in your life to, tell people how much they mean to you. Because yeah, like you're saying, Jimmy, you're like, yeah, I'll see him next year when I'm golfing. We'll caddy, we'll have fun, and I don't have to worry about him passing.
Just very funny guy, just a great guy. So I will close by saying, Jimmy Lindstrom, we loved you and still love you, even though you left us, you pill. Stabbed me right in the back by dying, yes. Anyway, but there's no way I could have come in. Friday would have been a disaster had I shown up here. It would not have been good at all. Not that it is anyway, but, but so, yeah, I just, in a way now looking back on what I just said to you for the first time, I went, I'm glad I cried.
Yeah,
because it was very natural and very real. Because I just loved that guy. What a great guy. He's nothing like Phil Mackey. Phil's kind of a prick. Have you ever know? Wait a minute.
I jumped in at the end here. I thought you were getting emotional over not seeing me in a few days.
Yes,
but,
well, that's what it was. The weekend. Where's Phil?
Oh my God, we need his hot takes, his hot sports takes.
His hot sports. Very quickly. One of my best friends was found dead on Thursday. Unfortunately, just a great guy. He's a caddy. Just like I said, didn't drink a lot, didn't smoke, didn't do drugs. Was in great shape. Just dropped dead. Apparently, still don't know what killed him.
Yeah. As I've gone through some loss the last 5 or 6 years. Both parents before turning 37, and I think it's so hard to sort of predict. Okay, how long am I going to have this person in my life? Because anything could happen at any time, I think, is the biggest thing that I've learned over the past 5 or 6 years.
Somebody just sent me a message, said, this just proves there's balance in life, Tom, because your friend died and you started crying about it. Remember your dad? I went, oh, God. So when my dad died, because I hadn't seen him in years, he died at 61, I think he was, something like that. So go to the hospital and he's still there, and he's getting me writing signs, get me out of here and all that kind of stuff, right? So then he died, and I was out in the hallway just kind of looking through the window thinking about how weird it is, even though I hadn't seen him in years and we never got along. I just look out the window going, Jesus, it's just, you're turning a page. Your father, your mother dies, it turns a page. There's no doubt about that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I'm standing there, and even though my father was Baptist, my mother was Catholic, and they had not seen each other in 30 years, I would bet, 25 years, because they got divorced. My sister Bobby had to work my mother to divorce, because my mother's Catholic. She did not want to get a divorce.
Yeah.
That's Catholicism doesn't allow that.
Catholic people would rather stay together for like the last 30 years, not making eye contact, than get a divorce.
That's exactly right, too. So I'm standing there looking out the window, and the priest comes out, the guy who done the last rites for my father, and then he died. I'm looking out the window, and the priest comes out and says to me, Tommy, I'm really sorry. Sorry about your father passing. And I said, he probably had it coming. He just walked away. Didn't even talk to me. Didn't look at me. He just got away from me.
Man, I mean, let me ask you this. Have you gone long stretches? I'll ask the whole show here this, since we're talking about this. Have you guys gone long stretches? Because sometimes as guys, it's like, you got to shove that emotion down and swallow it. So you cried when your best friends died. Have you gone through long stretches where you just haven't cried for years on end?
100%. And
really,
and I was explaining this to somebody, and they were like, "Are you a psychopath?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, I cried. I think the last time I cried was at my grandpa's funeral, but other than that, I don't know. I don't just spontaneously bust out in tears. But I don't know. It's probably weird.
I must be a nice Catholic boy, because I cry all the time.
Do you?
I do. I cry a lot, man. It's like stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's why I got that edge to me, because I'm a very emotional person. Like when my mother died, that was a bitch. Ooh, I didn't like that one at all.
How old were you when your mom died?
Let's see. She died in 2008, so I was 57, something like that. Wait a minute. Let me get this right. 40. Yeah, 57. I was 57. So
Yeah, my dad, same way, grew up Irish Catholic
Oh,
in
yeah.
Chicago, Illinois,
Oh, yeah.
and literally, I think I've told you the story. Like, went to a Catholic school where they would, if you did something wrong, like the priests were your teachers, and they would
Oh.
they'd punch you or whatever if you were a kid.
Yes.
And he in the last 20 years of his life cried all the time, but also was like would get mad at things that he wouldn't have maybe 20 years before, which I found interesting. But I found that I think for when my parents died, that was really hard in both cases. But I actually am more likely to cry over like an animal dying than a person now in my life. And now that my parents are gone, I have no siblings.
Yeah. Oh, you have
You
no
know.
siblings. Okay.
I'm an only child, so there's only so many people here that can go that are like close enough to me. Like we lost a cat that we had for several years, a couple years ago, Tommy. I was more for 3 days like just absolutely inconsolable than when like my grandma died, and that's all due respect to grandma.
That's not good, man. When your grandma dies and say, the cat.
I love my grandma, but
don't try to make up for it. It's too late.
There's just something about Tommy, though. The way that he would come down the steps to say hi to you every single day. Now I'm going to start crying again here.
No, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with. It's actually very good for people to cry. Just get all that emotion out and get it out there and realize that you're a human being. Stuff does matter to you.
In potentially the most perfect segue of all time, speaking of parents dying, did you see the former Twins pitcher that was arrested for killing his father-in-law over the weekend?
Wait a minute. No. Yes, I did.
Dan Serafini. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yes.
He was like a first-round pick from the 90s, and he came up in those late 90s bad Twins teams. I was looking up his numbers. I do remember him pitching poorly.
By the way, there's a cat right behind you flopping around.
Yeah, that's our dog, Maya. Right
is
there.
that a
Was it a dog? Oh,
that's our dog, Maya. Yeah,
it had his head down.
Yeah. Maya, by the way, Maya is the official. No, it's funny. Here's another quick story. So Nutrisource is a big sponsor of the Score North podcasts, like Purple Daily and Mackie and Judd. NutrisourcePetFoods.com for anyone out there. So Maya is a Nutrisource dog. And I swear to God, we went to the vet to get her like 6-month checkup and a couple vaccines, whatever she needed, like a month ago. And this is the power of YouTube. So I walk in with Maya and the vet tech, probably a guy in his late 20s, maybe 30 years old. He's got his like veterinarian scrubs on. And he walks into the room and I'm sitting there with Maya and he looks over for a second and he kind of cracks a half smile. He sits down at the computer and he goes, before looking at the computer to see like who the dog was, right? He goes, how's Maya doing today? And I was like, oh, pretty good. He goes, I recognize you guys from the Nutrisource ads on Purple Daily. I just watched before I came over here.
Nice.
The world famous Maya Mackey.
Maya Mackey. Maya, because I couldn't see Maya's head, so just the tail.
She's got cat-like tendencies. She's about 19 pounds and will climb up on the couches and stuff, as you can see.
Nothing wrong with that.
So Dan Serafini, 49 years old. I'm reading this from some news website here. He was arrested in Nevada for he was the son-in-law of the victims who were murdered, and they have arrested him and possibly the nanny for the family for first-degree murder. And he is awaiting extradition, I guess. I'd read this whole story, but I don't want to read for a half hour to the audience. Right. But a former crappy Twins pitcher apparently tried to murder both of his mother and father-in-law. Only the father-in-law he wound up actually murdering. So life's going well for that guy. Yeah.
Any reason given why he murdered him?
It says on June 5th, 2021, police, so he's been out for 2 years kind of roaming around without anyone knowing. Police responded to a call at a home in the North Lake Tahoe, California area. It's a beautiful area, by the way.
Oh, God, yes.
Where they found Robert Gary Spohr, 70 years old, dead with a single gunshot wound, according to the sheriff's office. His wife, Wendy, 68 years old, was also shot and taken to the hospital, where she later recovered. She died a year later. I don't know if it was related to getting shot by her son-in-law.
Yeah, maybe.
She's no longer alive. Video surveillance of the home showed a hooded man wearing a face covering and a backpack prior to the killing, the sheriff said. And locating a fastball just a bit outside the house.
Ball for
just a bit outside.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed. By the
I
way,
don't think he's coming to Twins Fest. I think that's what that means, Tom.
No?
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. And by the way, if they lived in Incline Village, his in-laws had some money. I will tell you that.
Yeah. Or maybe, I mean, he might have made enough money bouncing around the big leagues.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it was his money. He's taking his house back. I don't know.
Never wanted to kill my in-laws. They're both gone now. And well, they both lived to be at 94, 95, and 96. Jesus.
Wow,
Put
dude.
some age on them. Yeah. But Incline Village, you were right. You've spent some time up there in northern Lake Tahoe.
Just a couple. So my my aunt and uncle live in Santa Rosa, California, and ever since I was little, whenever I'd go visit, my uncle was a big time mountain traveler and he worked for like the national parks and whatnot. So whenever I go, they try to take me on kind of a unique sightseeing tour of the West Coast or the mountains or Lake Tahoe, anything within like a 15-hour radius of California. So I've spent a little bit of time there, but it's beautiful.
Used to love to fly into San Francisco, which I never do now, but this was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Flying to San Francisco, hang around San Francisco a couple of days, drive over, go through Truckee and get to Incline Village over there, Lake Tahoe. Yeah. Go up to the wine country. It was just one. Did I ever tell you my wine country story very quickly? So Mondavi had I'm assuming they still do have a huge growing business in that town.
Yeah, Robert Mondavi is their big famous wine.
Indeed. So because I used to buy a lot of wine from them back when I was, buying wine, and we were in the store. He said, "Oh, Tommy, we gotta shut her down at about 4:30 here. So, look around, get whatever you need." And I don't mean to rush you, but we're having a big event. They had about a 400-seat amphitheater out in the middle of the vineyard. Wow. This is in Napa, California. 400-seat amphitheater, middle of the vineyard, free wine they're handing out and everything. I'm like, "So what's going on?" He goes, "Oh, we got an event at the amphitheater." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. I've been working my ass off." I said, "Don't happen to have a couple more tickets, dude?" He goes, "Nah, sorry, Tommy, to this one. There is no way I can get you in. And you can talk all you want, but I cannot get you in." I said, "It's your vineyard." He goes, "I know, but I can't do it." I said, "All right. So who's playing the 500, 400-seat amphitheater?" Frank Sinatra.
Oh man.
My gosh.
Wow. Can you imagine seeing Frank Sinatra in a vineyard?
I'll be like, wow. I'll stand in the back and I don't even have to sit down.
Oh, he wouldn't even let me do that. It's like, "You got to go, man. Sorry.
Get off the property." Yeah.
Get off the property. Exactly.
Man.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. Talk about just I would say Sinatra at the Sands would be number one if I could go back in time.
That's true.
But then Sinatra just at a private sort of, backyard of a vineyard in Napa, boy.
You're sitting there drinking wine, comfortable seat. There's only 400 people there. Frank Sinatra's belt. Boy, life sucks, doesn't it?
Like if I could, that's like the epitome of elegance, right?
It is.
Is like just drinking some wine in the middle of Napa Valley, listening to Frank Sinatra live. Yeah.
Yes.
It's all true. So I got to ask you one more question. I know you got to go in 60 seconds, but I do not understand why they called that touchdown back. What do you
know
like
what?
This
Don't ask questions, Tom. Just take the pig, drive it back up I-35, and go celebrate. Yeah, that was usually what we sit here and complain about the refs never having our backs, right? The refs in all the sports have colluded and conspired against Minnesota sports.
Yes, I agree.
And in this one, I don't know. I think if you would have, because they were reviewing whether he was out of bounds. And so I don't even know, apparently they can go back and just like review something else that was very questionable. Did anyone think when you were watching that, oh, he's calling a fair catch? Even Gopher fans. I don't think anyone.
You're down here.
I know.
I mean, it's like, what? A fair catch, you do this, do you not? If I remember correctly. You stick your hand up in the air, don't you?
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't look like a fair catch.
No.
And I would have, even if it did look like a fair catch, none of the Gophers players responded as if they thought he called for a fair catch. Every one of them missed an opportunity to tackle him.
Yes.
So I would have been like, just off of the sheer effort that you guys put forth, we're going to let that touchdown stand and you guys can go home and think about what you did.
Yeah, they all very, very sloppily tried to keep tackling him.
They did.
Failed, right? But you know what, though? There was still like a minute and a half left on the clock or 2 minutes. The Gophers totally would have gone down and scored their first touchdown to win that game.
No doubt
Okay.
about
Yeah.
it.
You don't give the Gophers that much time to go down and beat you. Okay, Iowa. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Kirk
close
Ferentz.
with this. I have a question for you. We'll close with a question. Never met him. Would I hate PJ Fleck?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
would.
he's not my kind of guy.
You
is he?
I
would.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you met him?
Yeah, I ran into him. I was working an event back when
Even AJ goes, oh, you'd hate him.
I was working some Radio Row stuff back when the Final Four was here for basketball, and he was going around doing appearances and stuff like that. And I was like his handler of like, here you're here at this time, and you're here at this time, table to table, show to show. So intense. And I was told like, hey, you got to really bring it up, like energy level for that. He just comes in, how we doing? It's elite day, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm talking to his assistant while he's doing shows. I'm like, so is this like an everyday thing, or is this just an act? She goes, I have like 8 cups of coffee a day just to keep up with him. Like, he's an energetic guy. I mean, it's kind of infectious because I felt better after it. But like I think your personality, you 5 minutes into a conversation, be like, get out of my face.
I gotta go. Get away from me. Go away.
Was every interview he did, was it interview 0?
Yeah.
Was the interview 2?
It's year 0. Now it's year 0.5.
Yeah.
Year 0.7.
He would.
I think when someone asks you, how are you doing? And you say, I'm elite. I think that's where the friendship would end.
Yes.
What?
We're having an elite day. I was like, okay, I get it. I was having an okay day, but I guess, yeah.
You know, it's not elite, that Minnesota football record that you're trouting around
He
town.
said, I'm elite.
Oh, that's I mean, everyone in the program. Yeah, they are.
Away from me. Get away from me. I'm sitting here. You're in a different city. Still get away from me.
But you could make a case that he is the best Gophers head coach in terms of just like record and everything since Murray Warmath 50 or 60 years ago.
That's going back a ways.
Yeah, and the bar's not that high. You know, when like Jim Wacker might be 3rd on that list, it's not a high bar, but that was an unnecessary drive-by shot at Jim Wacker that I didn't know was going to come out this morning.
Nothing wrong with that.
I didn't wake up this morning thinking, I'm going to slander Jim Wacker. It's going to be great.
8:30 yet.
You know who sucks was that Eric. What was his name again? Eric something. He was a son of a coach or some damn thing. I don't remember. You got to go though, man. Oh God, we kept you.
I got to go. I got to get out of here. We got Monday Night Football tonight. Purple Daily Vent Line tonight on the YouTube channel. I think the Vikings are going to get trounced, but we'll see what happens.
Oh
yeah.
So. Oh yeah.
Be bad.
All right, Phil. Thank you, sir.
All right. See you guys.
Great talking to you. We'll take a break. Be right back. Of course, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. Chris Eggert coming up next. Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I am a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, and brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling, only to gain it right back. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. Let me assure you that the short 60 days is totally worth it. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, which is a great idea anyway, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. Great job, Elizabeth. I am so happy to hear about your success. Are you ready to lose weight and feel better? Go to mnfatloss.com and schedule a free phone consultation. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. You don't have to take time off work or get a babysitter for the kids. It's as easy as getting on a quick call with the expert staff. You can share your goals, learn about the program, and see if it is a good fit to help you lose weight and feel better. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about the My Slippers, the Giza Sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news, the MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. Regular price is $79.98, and for a limited time, you can get the 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. By the way, somebody was taking a shot at my boy last week. I heard about it. Mike Lindell does more for his employees than most employers would ever think of. And you don't have to agree with his politics, but that boy does help everybody out he possibly can. So I just wanted to point that. You're going to criticize him, I'll balance the scales, right? So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM, and save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, no, I can't read this. It says news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for a free 48-minute financial evaluation. Here's that horrible human being, Chris Eggert. I'm not going to read that.
It's fair. It's fair.
Only fair. I like your shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
I don't know.
It's a nice shirt, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Between you and AJ's got that kind of beachcomber shirt on today. That's a good shirt too, man. A lot of good shirts today.
Yeah, AJ, you do look like you're just chilling today. I like it.
Yeah, I was feeling a little laid back for a Monday. I want to ease into the week, Chris.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah,
it's a good plan. Easing into the weekend. No doubt about it. I've been watching a lot of Channel 5 Eyewitness News because every time I turn on the national news, we're all going to die any minute. Jesus, is the news. Could it be any more negative?
We led with the Vikings today just because that was our top story today.
While there's still a sliver of hope.
There's always hope on the day of the game, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What time does the game kick off? Because that's about the time the hope leaves the building.
7:30. 7:30. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
that?
Like that.
I think it's 7:30, isn't it?
Yeah. We've actually got the game tonight on Channel 5. When the writer's strike happened and all the shows were disrupted, ABC started pulling and putting Monday Night Football. They pull it from ESPN and put it on the air. So we've got the game, which we don't normally get the games. So, big deal for us too.
I really wish they had not messed with Monday Night Football. I used to love watching Monday Night Football.
There's nothing better than like the old Al Michaels,
yes,
John
sir,
Madden, with Hank Williams. You have Hank Williams for the intro song. Yeah, those are peak Monday Night Football days for me.
I agree.
Although you can't say things like, "Look at that little monkey run." That was not a good idea.
No. They're
different time back then.
And he didn't mean that at all. He was just talking about that, little monkey like a little kid.
Who's the college announcer? Gus Gus something.
Oh, Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson.
Elite.
He's fantastic.
Elite.
Like, he is hilarious.
He's got a call. I think it was Chris Johnson he was playing on the Titans, and he has this breakaway, kind of like an Adrian Peterson, kind of
Sure.
long run.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got getting away from the cop speed.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's just unbelievable.
Gus Johnson is good for at least 2 or 3 quotes every broadcast. It's great.
I've never had to run from the cops. Maybe I should get that done now. My birthday's in 2 weeks.
Hey, you got time. Let's go.
I'll run from the cops. That ought to go over big. No question. So, Chrissy.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. No.
I was going to say, you guys were talking.
Whoops, we lost you.
Oh, I think you accidentally
Chris,
muted yourself.
You muted yourself somehow. Nice abilities.
Unbelievable.
Nope, he's still gone.
He's still.
Oh, he just dropped the F-bomb, but you couldn't hear him, but I could see his lips forming the word. Oh, he got up and left. Oh, here he comes back. I can see his shirt. Nope.
No,
it's
Chris, you have to actually unmute yourself on StreamYard, I think.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's unbelievable.
Do you know how to unmute yourself on StreamYard?
Hit the 3 little dots by your picture.
Otherwise, at the
underneath
bottom,
stream,
it should say mute.
Or the unmute mute button.
Can you not hear us either?
No, he can hear us.
Or you can hear us. Yeah,
or
there's 3
press
little
Control D on your keyboard.
Nothing.
Yeah, call in.
Oh,
what the hell is that?
You broke it?
You broke your computer?
Okay.
Call in, Chris.
Hey, listen, Anne Frank, you going to do this deal or not?
Just unnecessary strays today on this show.
First Coach Whacker and now Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Hey, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we're good.
This would never happen if we had Hannah on every day.
I know. Hannah's a true professional.
Yeah, she is. She's actually, you're right, a professional. Yeah. It's a good way to put it. Nope, it's not working. You want to call in for? Oh, here she is.
There she is.
Okay, get the phones working. Hannah, will you fix that? Hammerhead can't figure it. Not that I could either. Don't get me wrong. You're not the guy to get technical.
There are some things where technology just will not play nice with you, and no matter what you do.
He's just gone.
Chris, call in.
Oh, he is going to call in though. There he goes. Where'd Hannah go? We got to talk to Hannah while you were there calling.
I feel like she just hangs out off camera and waits for us to ask about her. Then she'll just walk through the background.
She pulled the courts that we would bring her up. Yeah.
She probably did. She disconnected you, Chris. That's what it was. It was Hannah's fault. There's no getting around it. Are you having trouble dialing too? You got some talent there, pal.
He's on the hot seat.
Did you just tell me to shut up? That's what your lips sound like going.
All right, Chris, can you hear us now?
I didn't say that. I didn't say shut up.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Well, what's that?
I literally touched a cord and it stopped working. I saw things, so it wasn't on mute and it wasn't anything with the actual computer program. Like I touched the cord on this microphone and it went away.
Who knows? Gonna have to get an engineer out there or some damn thing.
And this is and just to be clear, this is actually like Hannah's office. So I come in here and disrupt her every day for this.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So that's why she's not just waiting back there like she's like working.
I was very confused.
She's got it covered.
Yeah, she's just on the other side of this curtain. Oh, anyway, I was going to say about the Iowa game this weekend, the Iowa-Minnesota game. So the kid who made the catch and the controversial call with the fair catch or not, Cooper DeJean's his name. His dad was my college roommate. We played basketball together.
That's nice.
And the kid's like a super great kid, super stud, small town Iowa guy who's just like had a wonderful career at Iowa so far. It's just crazy. I was traveling, so I didn't see it. And my wife was sending me texts and she's like, "Oh my God, Cooper just broke one and scored a touchdown and Iowa's going to win." And then she's like, "Oh my God, it got called back." Like it was just so crazy.
I still cannot believe they called that back. He waves his hands a couple of times.
Shouldn't have done that.
I guess not. I guess you're right.
Yeah, what a crazy weird turn of events. And to Tevin's point earlier, like that usually goes against us. Like for whatever reason, this was the time that the football gods smiled upon the Gophers.
Haven't beaten him in Iowa for 24 years.
Yeah, which is a wild stat. You couldn't.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
I think I saw something that was like, and this might be wrong, but it's the first time the Gophers have held both Floyd of Rosedale and Paul Bunyan's axe
Really?
at the same time in like almost 50 years or something
Really?
like that. Yeah.
Jesus. That is amazing.
Yeah, I don't think you'd like Fleck either, by the way, Tom.
No, he doesn't seem like my kind of guy.
No.
I think the two guys, if they walked in the room together, that I'd get up and leave would be PJ Fleck and that comedian that's not funny in the least, and everybody thinks is so cute. What's his name?
Which one's
No,
that?
you've said Dane Cook.
Not Dane Cook.
Oh no.
No, it's the other guy. He was on Saturday Night Live. All these women think he's really cute, and he's got these real dark circles.
Oh, you talking about Pete
Davidson.
Davidson?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. He's not funny in the least.
No.
What happened?
He's an acquired taste, I would say, but
Yeah,
I
probably.
think his biggest notoriety, no pun intended, is his supposed endowment. That's what's made him such a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
All the nice old Jewish men in my neighborhood used to call it the Schwanstucker.
That's a nice name for it.
So he
I
whipped
do-
out his Schwanstucker.
From a pop culture standpoint, like, that's why that's become a thing, and because he's
Yeah.
dated famous women, and
Yep.
his actual comedy is, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not great.
An acquired taste is definitely the most like positive thing somebody can say about his.
I mean, I thought
craft.
I don't know if you guys saw at Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago, and it was their first show back after the writers' strike, and it was also right after the attacks started in Israel.
Oh, sure.
And he actually, I thought, gave a fantastic opening.
Oh, good. Glad to
It
hear
just
it.
like came out to him, and his dad died in 9/11.
Oh,
And
God.
so he came out and talked about that and how, when is the right time to laugh when something horrible happens,
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
It was very short and sweet, but that for him, that was the right thing at that time. Now I didn't think many of the skits after that were very funny, but for what it was worth, I thought that was it was a very impressive thing he did.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Doing that, well, so good. There's something about him I can like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, I mean, I don't know if you're so inclined, but it was only like a minute or two. If you would find that on YouTube and look at it, it was the right tone. It was, it was well done.
I will do that because, look, I'm not one of those kind of guys. Well, I don't think you're funny and I don't really like you as a person. Well, if you did something nice, I'd still like to look at it.
Yeah.
Some people just won't do that. Oh, I don't like him. What's that got to do with him delivering a nice message?
All right.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I will
That's
have to
the
watch
world
that.
we live in now. There's no
Yep.
gray. It's either, it's black or white or, whatever it might be. It's no gray.
No, you're absolutely right.
And Chris, do you have any insights? So there was the Palestinian protest. I think it was over kind of by the Walker Arts Center.
Yep.
There was a
Yep.
car that like drove through the crowd apparently, and some people were trying to say
Yeah.
there were gunshots or fireworks
Really?
fired. Do you have any insight to what exactly
Yeah,
happened?
so we got some of the viewer video of that that was viewer submitted, and you definitely could see a car coming in pretty fast at where all the people were. But what we don't know at this point, because no one's talked to the driver, if that person was like going in there to raise hell, or
Mhm.
if that person like just made a wrong turn and was like, oh crap. We don't know that. And I think there was some confusion about that during the protests themselves after George Floyd was murdered. That truck driver that was on the interstate,
Mhm.
when they were blocking the interstate, didn't it turn out he just actually didn't know he was supposed to not be there? I don't think that. So I guess I say that with a grain of salt, like whatever turns out happened here. We don't know though what the driver's intent was, but I know that it didn't appear to hit anybody, and the car got like the crap kicked out of it at some point, and then we could kind of see him backing out away from it. This is all we could tell though from the viewer video. We've not heard anything official from the police other that they said there were no injuries.
Well, that's a good thing, Pally, but hell of a report today, I thought.
Well, thank you guys. I'll have to email the engineer and find out why this cord is not working.
We're going to have to find that out because this show just cannot get by without you.
I know you guys listen.
What?
Every day just for this.
What?
And I'm sorry I couldn't see your eye roll on the video when you said that.
Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Have a good day, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Chris Eggert, again, I consider myself to be a very lucky guy to be working with that pinhead.
I was waiting for.
He's a great guy. He just is a really good, always has been.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes. Bob Sansevier, another great guy, except for the fact he's Italian. Coming up right after this, right? You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. It's Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. He's my buddy, and I do believe in him. You'll be glad you did that, and tell him his guy, Tom, sent you. Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN fat loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
K&L Surplus and Ammo is your one-stop shop for all firearms-related products and is the preferred choice among trap enthusiasts and waterfowl hunters for over 25 years. K&L is an authorized SKB shotgun dealer with a huge selection of youth models and has a huge selection of trap loads, too. Fall hunting is here. Head to K&L Surplus and stock up on waterfowl loads. K&L has a lot of the calibers that have been hard to find in stock, which is always great news. K&L Surplus and Ammo is veteran-owned, offers first responder and veteran discounts. Check out this mention on his show. Check this out. Mention this show and receive a 10% off anything in the store deal. That's anything in the store. And by the way, it's a great, you go to K&L, they will tell you exactly what you need to do. Because I have a permit to carry. I was carrying a gun that he thought was a little too big for me. And he was absolutely right. Like I'd be trying to shoot Tevin and to go right through him and hit you. You know what I mean? And I can't have that. I just want it to stay in Kevin's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Notice I called him Kevin the second time too, just to piss him off.
That sounded on purpose.
It was on purpose, and no question about it. K&L is also committed to safety and a licensed FFL retailer. Find out for yourself why K&L Surplus and Ammo has been the choice of gun owners for over 25 years. Go to www.klgunstore.com. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Little news, little information. Sandy's with us. What's up, Sandy?
Not too much. Where's the other? Where's Brittany?
She, the baby's not sick. She was just a little.
She might have come down with a cold and stuff, and
okay.
up all night. So Brittany wanted to take the day off, be able to kind of look after her, get her to the doctor if needed.
Yeah, she tried to argue that her mic wasn't working. I said, "You don't need a mic. You talk so loud, we could hear you from there anyway." What do you think?
What? There's no doctor's appointments afternoon.
Oh,
she can't do the show and then go. What?
No,
that baby's important. That's a priority.
Well, I keep telling her, why don't you work from home? As soon as my son was born, and then Alex was born a couple years later, I worked from home for 25 years because I wanted to be around my family every day.
Well, when she was going to come in, she should have just stayed home and done it.
She should just stay home and take care of the baby, man. You'd be around your baby.
Oh, that's okay, because she had that's why the microphone wasn't working. It was the home mic. I got you.
Oh, yeah, that may be what it is. No, she's really good from home, too, because it's like a closet she's in, and it sounds really good, I think.
And she gets a hand bringing in coffee.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a hand sticking through the door. Here's your coffee. No, she would, but yeah, look, you got a little baby, you need to stay by your baby. There's no doubt about it. So I'm still trying to talk her into that. And then, of course, the other part of that is I wouldn't have to put up with her anymore, which is a great part for me. You know?
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Okay, Sandy, to start, because I want to get through this. We were just talking about it. And, of course, Phil Mackey was on talking about that as well. How did they call back that touchdown just because the guy went?
Tom, I'm glad I have covered football, and this goes back more than 40 years, high school, college, the NFL. I've been to over 1,000 games, and most of them NFL games. I have never seen anyone identify anything but putting your arm up as a fair catch. Waving your arm. I thought when he did, he was pointing the two blockers, I thought, and then when he waved his left arm, my thought was he's letting him get away. He's trying to tell his players, I'm going.
Yep.
And I'm going to get it. I thought, I put it this way, in Iowa, they're in an uproar here. Every Gopher fan, every sycophantic Gopher fan is arguing, oh, that was a fair catch. No, it's not.
No,
that's not a fair catch. I don't understand how you could argue that. And then PJ Flex on the sideline complaining about, he wanted a penalty for, what was it that he wanted the penalty for? I even forget now.
Wasn't it the Iowa fans were throwing garbage on
Yes. Okay, thank you. Iowa fans throwing garbage. He wants a penalty, yet his entire 60-man roster is on the field. That's a penalty.
Oh, really?
You can't go on the field. You can't have your entire team on the field. So he's lucky he didn't get a flag on him. That would have been nuts. But trying to stick up for his team, in my mind, that goes down. They should give back the pig.
I agree.
Yeah, because in reality, the two signals, it's either the fair catch, which is over the head, or if it's like a muff or a shanked punt, you'll wave incomplete, hey, get away from the ball, onion. And so it looked like he was trying to point with his right hand and then also do the incomplete, get away with his left. So he did a terrible job of what he was supposed to do. And then he grabs it. None of the Gophers, it would be also different if the entire Gophers team just stopped and was we thought it was a fair catch, but they kept playing. None of them made the play.
That's the point that I was I made earlier. The Gophers tried tackling him. They didn't treat it like it was a fair catch. So I don't understand why these officials thought it was a fair catch. The fix was in.
There were a few calls in that game. I went, that doesn't make any sense to me.
And by the way, I have never seen a quarterback at that level, actually very few levels, with such a shit arm as that Iowa quarterback. He was brutal. Oh my God, he can't throw the ball.
He's been getting dragged. I heard one local announcer say that he was he should be playing Division III football instead of Division. It's okay,
no, Division III quarterbacks are much better than they're just little guys.
Yeah,
they can throw the football.
Yeah, the kid's not great, but he's definitely been catching some strays on TV.
Okay, he's the backup. Who's the third string, and how pathetic is he if he can't be beat out?
God, think about that. You're right. Oh, I got to do this, by the way, too. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevier Sports is brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Bob Sansevier. I love the fact you're on camera now, Bob. You look good.
I don't look good. I look all beady-eyed.
You're not beady-eyed. You look like an Italian.
AJ, am I beady-eyed?
No.
Hey, that's right.
No.
Wait a minute here. There, now you can only see one beady eye. Can't see both.
Get your eye blocked.
I need to wear a couple of eye patches. But all right, one more thing about the Iowa kid. He's built like Ben Roethlisberger. Run the frickin' ball. Rumble.
Yep.
And by the way, speaking of running, did any of you catch the Eagle game last night?
I did not.
Bits and pieces of it.
All right. Did you see the end when the Eagles are inside their own 30, 4th down, and they're up by 7? Nick Sirianni said, tush push. That is it is no one can stop that play. It's unbelievable how great they are at it. And it was a little more than a yard. No problem. I've been saying this since last year. I want to see the Eagles play one game where every play is the tush push. They will get a first down because they go 3-4 yards every push.
Yeah. Like
It's incredible.
The only thing in question would be if Jalen Hurts, if his legs could hold up for all 4 quarters, because that's the biggest thing. They're pushing forward, but he's just so strong that he gets like a yard or two by himself, but then the fullback and the running back are right behind him. It's an easy 3 yards, Bob.
Okay, there are guys. One of the players, I think he did it yesterday. Did you ever see those? And just horrible. I do condemn it. The dwarf bowling. That's how they lifted him up to throw him forward. Like when they throw these dwarfs down the lane.
Bowling. God, I haven't seen that in about 20 years.
But it's the same thing. They give him the hoist and push him forward. Yeah, Kirk Cousins could not pull off the tush push. You got to have a guy like Jalen Hurts doing it. So,
no, that is true.
I hope they don't outlaw it because to me, they're outlawing it because of one team. And you have a player who can do it, so do it.
Yeah, you definitely put it into if you don't like it, stop it. Like it's not
exactly.
They come out in the it's not ever a surprise when they run it. Like they line up and everybody goes, okay, here comes the play where they're gonna push. Like now adjust. And I'm still waiting for them to do a fake tush push and just throw a deep shot down the field. That's the next evolution of this.
I like it.
That would be interesting. It also would be tough because they had so many guys bunched in. But you're right, no one from the defense would cover the guy.
No.
Yeah.
If you were to suddenly drop back.
Like sweep as they're snapping the ball and then just immediately lateral or something.
Yep, or some sort of reverse out of it. But
But the time to do that is when you're on the other side of the 50. You know, you don't want to do it when you're inside your own 30.
Yeah.
Jeez. But anyway, and by the way, looking around the league yesterday, the Detroit Lions, I'm thinking again, it's like the AL Central. They got destroyed by Baltimore. I mean, this is not a good division. And the Packers get beat. The Bears win. But the Packers got beat too by Denver. That's brutal. But Baltimore just put a hurting on the Lions. And the Lions coach afterward, Dan Campbell. Well, I mean, he was trying to put the spin. Well, it's good that we got beat like this. It'll refocus us. Well, okay. Nice try. Everyone loves to get beat. Yeah.
Game 6 or 7. Hey, now we're focused. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. What were you doing in the beginning of the season?
Exact first third of the season. Where were you?
Yeah, But your Vikings tonight, Christian McCaffrey will play. I just don't see a scenario where they win. They may keep it close because they keep everything close. And here's where it's got to really hurt him. Brian Flores, in the game last week with Chicago, he blitzed more than 70% of the time. The league average for the last week was like in the 20s. So he knew they had a horrible offense. And, Fields couldn't handle it. His Badgett wasn't able to handle it very well. But you do that against San Francisco, you are going to get decimated. Yeah. Because they are not good. They're too good to blitz on every down.
Yeah, they're going to get slaughtered tonight, aren't they?
Well,
probably.
I think so, but I thought Detroit would give a game to Baltimore. So what do I know?
Is Deebo Samuel? I think he's out.
He's hurt.
Correct?
He's out, but Christian McCaffrey he's supposed to play, but they've got Elijah Mitchell hasn't played much this year. He's healthy now. Jordan Mason's healthy. I don't think we'll see a normal diet of McCaffrey. He'll play, but he's not going to be out there every play. I think they'll be giving him a lot of spells.
Yeah, and obviously we have JJ who's still on IR, but wasn't Davenport as well?
Yes.
Second DN, he was put on IR.
He's done too, I think. Yep. And so they have issues, and those issues will be exploited.
It's going to come down to whether or not TJ Hawkinson wants to catch a football tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
And then hold on to it after he catches
and that too. That's the biggest.
What happened to him?
He got paid.
Yeah, he did. He got paid. No, he can't catch the ball anymore.
That ear infection from preseason is really lingering.
Yeah, the ear and back infection that he had when he was trying to get a new deal. And then suddenly he was miraculously cured of both.
I feel much better. Yeah, sure you do.
A couple million in your bank account will help you ease some ailments.
Wasn't it like 40 million or something?
Yeah, he's not he's not
absurd money. Now, the guy that is going to be interesting to watch, KJ Osborne, even though Addison caught the touchdown, Osborne was the guy that Cousins was looking to. The three guys, I don't know if we talked about this Monday or not. No, we didn't. There's three guys that the Vikings are getting a number of calls about. And it's on defense, Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, and the other guy is KJ Osborne, because Osborne, he's due for a new contract, and they're not going to be able to afford him.
Yeah.
So they could wind up trading him because they're getting a lot of calls about him.
If that's true, people are actually calling immediately. Yes. Would you take him? For our third string guy that we're not going to be able to keep. And honestly, he has kind of underperformed because he gets lost in the shuffle as far as, with all the other weapons we have. I would trade him in a heartbeat. No offense to KJ, but.
Well, I mean, he showed last week what he could do as a featured player. And there are teams, the Chiefs. I mean, they got this Rashee Rice who's starting to come on, but they need a compliment to him. Again, you may say, well, wait a minute. Didn't Mahomes threw for 4 touchdowns and over 400 yards yesterday, but they still need a go-to receiver. And they're supposed to be Kadarius Toney. It hasn't been. Rice is becoming this rookie is becoming his main guy. But I think KJ Osborne, that would be a great place for him. And I don't think he'd complain.
Yeah, they just went
absolutely not.
They just went and got back out McCole Hardman, who they had for a few years. They did like a late pick swap with the Eagles, but that's just more of like a punt return. Oh, Jets, thank you. Yeah, a punt return, kick return type guy. He doesn't have the hands to be a solid wide receiver.
Having had him on my fantasy team the last several years, because I thought he'd be a breakout. Yes, he's not a great receiver. So Tom loves fantasy football.
So you ruined him. Is that what you're saying?
I ruined him. My management, my GM coaching / coach management skills were not.
Bob, it's not just fantasy football. It's all sports right now. Minnesota sucks in everything right now. What is the problem?
One bright spot.
One bright spot.
The Lynx, I think, might be bad enough where we'll get a high, like the number 1 pick potentially, like because we're not great.
Yeah,
right?
They're terrible.
No,
are they okay? My information
I think they made the playoffs.
It was only 3 teams.
I don't think so. I thought they were not.
What do you say?